The Celtic Christians, my background is Irish English. The Celtic Christians of the 4th and 5th century, 6th century and beyond had a practice of discerning God's will and direction for their life. They would take the boat of their location, which was called a coracle. Here's an image of a coracle, which is a boat structure which was made of animal hides, covered with pitch, and they're quite sturdy. Here's an example of one sailing on the ocean. They can go from a single person model to a small band of people being in a larger coracle. St. Brendan taught that, and this was a practice saints followed for centuries, they would climb into a coracle, a little boat that had no rudder. Have you ever felt like you had no rudder? That you were going through the currents of life and you weren't sure where you were going to end up or why you were there? Well, you're in good company. You were doing what Brendan would call a pilgrimage, believing that God was leading you in His divine will. After all, in our passage, Paul was under house arrest and later to go into prison, and God was using him there. So the Celtic Christians would float by divine current, or so they believed, following the winds and the currents, and where that coracle came ashore, they believed that this was, quote, the place of my resurrection. They believed that God directed them to that specific point, so much that many of them spent their entire lives working and serving there, believing that God led them there unless God was going to lead them out on another pilgrimage to float down to some other direction. So what is your pilgrimage? If you find that you're stuck in life and you're wondering, well, why am I here and where do I go next? Now's the time to step into your coracle and allow the wind of the Spirit to move you into a new ministry, a new life direction, and to be open to the leadership of the Spirit. I knew a woman whose name was Chicky. She found herself in a skilled nursing center. She was once involved in a clown ministry. The day came I was called to minister to her at the skilled nursing center, so I came doing my ministerial duties, and I loved her. She was a godsend. And as I came in the front door of the skilled nursing center, to my pleasant surprise, sat Chicky in a wheelchair. And in her lap, she held a large bowl of candy, and she was greeting and handing this out to people that came in to visit people in the skilled nursing center. So as I came in to minister to her, she had discovered that her ministry was to minister to me and all others who came by.